In Canada, British Columbia, May 21st, 2023, at roughly 8:15 PM, Cody Schwab and AMSA hit start on Grand Finals of Battle of BC5. This set, while exciting and fun to watch, was not really unusual. For the last year or so, Melee has been in a golden age of top 8s. For the first time in the game's history, there are at least a half dozen players at each Super Major who could conceivably take first place. AMSA and Cody are two such players, with strong arguments to be made that either is the best player in the world. That is not what makes this set special. Titans clash all the time, it's what they do. This set is worth talking about because of what it represents to both players. To help you understand a little, let's look at ancient Carthage around 400 BC. At this time, the Empire of Carthage spanned most of the Mediterranean coast, boasting one of the most fearsome armies in the ancient world. An army, it'll probably surprise you to find out, was made up mostly of mercenaries and hired swords. There's this idea that we've become more materialistic over time. The ancient conflicts were all fought for causes like religion and patriotism. Take the Crusades for example. Those Knights Templars burning and pillaging their way through the Middle East must have really believed in reclaiming their Holy Land. Such horrific acts must have come from a place of real conviction. They saw themselves as holy warriors, right? Ancient history can wait for a second. Let's go back to the two sides of the conflict occurring at Battle of BC5, AMSA versus Cody. AMSA has recently moved from his birthplace of Japan to Canada, and this is his first time playing since then. Much to the delight of the local audience, AMSA requested to have the Canadian flag icon appear for him on stream. The message to the Canadian Smash community is clear here. I am the new representative. I will be your champion. Even more than that, AMSA is fresh off defeating Zain in Winners Finals. Zain, who recently abandoned Golden Guardians, the sponsor AMSA sits on, to join Moist Moguls. History hates a turncoat. The truth is, the Holy Roman Empire had absolutely no problem recruiting bands of mercenaries to attack the Holy Lands just for some coin. Same with pretty much every European power that involved themselves in the Crusades. On the other side of the conflict, the Byzantine Empire employed the Varangian Guard, a band of Norse and Anglo-Saxon soldiers, to be bodyguards to the emperors themselves. Jumping forward a few hundred years, the Swiss Guard, whose job description it is to protect the Pope, were originally formed as a group who fought just for hire. It's an extremely modern idea that foot soldiers in conflicts are ideologically bought into the results of said conflicts, an idea that has only really existed for a few hundred years since the advent of an international community and with it the concept of rules of war. If you think about it, a preference for mercenaries makes sense. Carthage, for example, had a strong navy, but no real aptitude for ground combat, so they just hired a bunch of guys to do that for them. For the Byzantines' Varangian Guard, they were seen as politically neutral. What reason would an Englishman have to assassinate the emperor that he spends all day with? He's just there to get paid. Mercenaries were useful because they were professionals. You hired them to get a job done. Mercenaries didn't win war because of ideological fervour or because of conviction. Mercenaries won war because they were paid to. They don't fight, they don't eat. If they ever make a biopic about Cody Schwab, it'll be marketed as an underdog story. Feels like he's always going through something. Family tragedies resulting in medical debt, personal health, intense burnout. You get the picture. He was on Panda Global, and then they fell apart. CLG pick him up, and they dissolve before his jersey even arrives. Cody has no sponsor, no organisation backing him, and right this second, he's in British Columbia, 2.6 thousand miles from home. Tournament winnings don't just mean pride for Cody. He uses that money to get to the next event, or to buy food, or to pay those huge medical bills, or to cover rent. You should realise by now that all the stuff AMSA is playing for stops mattering once both players hit start. After the set was over, how could there have been any other outcome? AMSA played because he had something to prove. He had people to represent. Cody played because if he didn't play, he didn't eat.